They are inspecting Phil Niekro. They're saying he's either loading up the baseball or something, and Tom Kelly's really getting into it with Dave Phillips and with Tim Cheetah. He's out of there. He's been kicked out of the game.
Hi again, this is Corey with DNC Ball Cards, back with another video. Today we're going to be busting open a box of 1987 Fleer. Found this box on eBay, purchased it along with the 87 Donruss box that I've already opened. Before we bust into this box, going back to the 87 Donruss box, I want to give a thanks to Stephen Judd on Twitter, handle of @CardboardLifer. He reached out to tell me a little bit about the 87 Donruss box that we opened. He is with, or has been with product development for Donruss Tops and Upper Deck, and currently does breaks on eBay. If you're not following him, I would recommend it. Again, his handle is @CardboardLifer altogether. But he reached out to let me know that 87 Donruss was produced in far less quantities than Tops and was not produced for brick and mortar distribution the same way the 88 and 89 Donruss packs were, which for me explains why I never remember opening 87 Donruss. I grew up in a small town. I remember 89 Donruss very well, chasing the Griffey rookie, but don't remember 87 at all, so that makes a lot of sense. And then I wasn't for sure exactly how large the Donruss puzzles would be, and he said they were large enough to fit on they were the 8.5 by 11, basically a standard sheet of paper, which makes sense. It's not very many pieces, and I did get enough pieces to put that puzzle together in our last video, so I'll be doing that and maybe sharing that at some point. And so on to 87 Fleer. This is a 36 pack box, 17 cards per pack, so 612 cards in this box. This is a 660 card set and considered to be one of the better sets of the early Junk Wax era. In fact, I reached back out to Cardboard Lifer, and he let me know that actually this was produced in the lowest quantities amongst Tops, Donruss, and Fleer. Certainly not scarce, but the toughest of the three. And in fact, this was the Bonds rookie to have before the Topps Tiffany set kind of became in vogue for that Bonds rookie. So moving on to key rookies, actually obviously includes Barry Bonds, Will Clark, Bo Jackson, Wally Joyner, John Kruk, Barry Larkin, Kevin Mitchell, Doug Drabek, Ruben Sierra, Jamie Moyer, and Bobby Bonilla. This set, or this product, also came in cello packs and rack packs as well, just like the Topps version. You could obviously buy factory sets. Similar to Topps Tiffany factory sets, beginning in 87, Fleer produced a glossy version of their factory set. It was packaged in a tin box and is often referred to as the tin set. There are some All-Star inserts, which is a 12-card insert set exclusive to wax and cello packs, so maybe we should get some All-Star inserts. I'm not sure about the insertion ratio or frequency. There were also some headliner inserts, but those are exclusive to cello packs, so we won't be getting any of those. And there was also some World Series inserts, which I believe were exclusive to the factory sets. And before we actually move on to opening the packs, I thought it would be fun to look at a Beckett from back in the day, just to kind of see how this 87 Fleer set has changed. This is a Beckett with Glavin on the front from 1992, November 1992 Beckett. Looking at the 87 Fleer, you can see how times have changed. Kind of highlighted a few. The Kevin Mitchell rookie card was $5, going down at this time, and obviously would continue to go down. The Doug Drabek rookie, $2.25. The Ruben Sierra rookie, $15. So I'm hoping we pull a few of those, and I can get some people on Twitter to to give me $15 for one of those cards. We'll see if that happens. The Barry Larkin rookie was worth $7. The Will Clark rookie, $25, which is just kind of unbelievable, really. Jose Canseco, $10. The Bonds rookie, I believe, was $15. Yeah, $15 for the Bonds rookie. So times have changed. Again, this entire box I got for about $22 or so, which was basically less than the price of one Will Clark card back in 1992. So obviously the entire junk wax era, those cards have all obviously taken a major hit in value, but there's still a nostalgia factor that makes me enjoy opening these boxes and seeing what we can pull with the full knowledge that there's not really much value to these cards. For me, it's really more about the fun of opening these. There is cards on the back of this box. We have a Del Murphy, Keith Hernandez. There's a Ryan Sandberg there. And this box looks to be well kept. I'm kind of excited to see what's in here. There's a Roger Clemens on the front. I just don't have enough space the way I've set my camera up here to kind of show some of this vertically. But I think we'll go ahead and open this up. The packs appear to be, I'm sure it's hard to tell, but they don't look to have been sorted through or anything. So I'm just gonna pull these out and stack them up as we get ready to open them up here. If you're not following us on Twitter, please do that. Our handle is there in the lower right of your screen at DC Ball Cards. If you haven't subscribed, please subscribe. I open a lot of these junk wax era boxes. Dustin opens a lot of the more current and modern product, and we may change that every now and then. I'm sure I'll open some modern stuff, and I know he's got a few boxes of some junk wax era things as well. So without further ado, this is the front of the packs. I like kind of just looking at the packs. Again, there's certainly a nostalgia factor to this, and just looking at the packs can kind of bring that back. Although, like the '87 Donruss, I do not remember opening any '87 Fleer really at all. I may have a few cards in my collection just acquired from trades or something as a kid, but that's it. So again, these do come with a sticker. There are 17 cards per pack plus one team logo. So there's a Red Sox logo. There is a Jamie Moyer rookie. Had a long career, not necessarily distinguished, but just the length of his career helped him compile some pretty good numbers. I wouldn't say he's a Hall of Famer by any means. Mike Young, Julio Cruz, Greg Minton, Neil Heaton. That's a rookie all-star, Wally Joyner and Jose Canseco. Both of these guys, there was a ton of hype around Joyner and Canseco for that matter, obviously, as well. But this is a cool card. I've written out about a total of 60 cards that I'd like to pull. That was one of them. The cards that I've selected are really Hall of Famers and other guys that I just like to collect, like Canseco and Bonds and players that aren't necessarily in the Hall of Fame. There were 33 Hall of Fame base cards in those 60 cards that I've selected, 10 Hall of Famer subset cards, and 13 non-Hall of Famer base cards, and 4 non-Hall of Famer base subset cards. So that was one of the subsets. That was the Superstar Specials subset of the Canseco and Wally Joyner. Lance Parrish, Don Carmen, Andres Thomas, Mickey Brantley, and Richard Anderson. And these cards appear to be in pretty good shape. I don't really see, any substantial damage or anything. I learned, Topps was obviously known for inserting gum. Fleer is kind of known for inserting the stickers. Donruss obviously known for inserting the puzzle pieces. And Score, which would come out next year, 1988, I believe they were inserting the little holographic, not holographic, but I think ventricular little trivia things, kind of like the Sports Flick cards. Jose Uribe, Roy Smalley. There's another subset, so they were really making sure they had a lot of Jose Canseco cards in this set. There's another Superstar Special, Youthful Power, with Pete Incaviglia. There is the Rookie All-Stars. We've got 2 Jose Canseco cards here. Bill Buckner. This is obviously coming off of the 1986 World Series that I'm sure you're aware of his notoriety with that. Don Schultz, Lance McCullers, Jose Cangelosi. There's a Bobby Bonilla rookie card. He's still being paid by the Mets, I believe. Dan Schatzeder. Yeah, that's a hard one to say. I guarantee he had some nicknames. Eric King, Kent DeColve. Oh man, looks like DB Cooper there. That is a cool photo. Just looks like a photo you might find in a 1970s photo album, And David Palmer. So obviously some of the cards that I really want to get here: Barry Bonds, Bo Jackson, the Canseco base card. McGuire would be a great card to have. Barry Larkin rookie card would be nice. There's a cool card on the back here that we'll get to. Oakland A's. Jeff Lottie. Alan Trammell. That's a Hall of Famer. Looks like he's pitching there almost. Tom Browning. Dan Bilardello. Lynn Matizek. I wish I knew how to pronounce some of these names. I've watched a lot of baseball as a kid and collected cards, but some of these names I still, Terry Kennedy, didn't get to see them on TV and never necessarily heard them pronounced. So Dave Righetti, Juan Nieves, and this looks like one of those inserts that we talked about. This is an all-star team insert. That's interesting. I had no idea, truthfully, what this was going to look like. I've never seen it. So, that's kind of cool. Look at the backs of these cards, too. I love looking at the backs of cards. I'll probably take some time off camera to look at the backs of some of these cards. As a kid, I used to love just kind of diving into the diving into the backs of cards and really learning baseball stats and kind of geeking out on that. Joel Youngblood, Bill Doran. And there is the Canseco base card. So the card's got a little bit of, just wasn't cut well. That's not damage from the box or anything. That's just a little extra piece, I think, on that top corner. But that is cool. So that's one of the cards that I wanted. Vida Blue. So he would have been playing in majors quite a long time at this point, 1969. So we're looking at going into his 18th, 19th year, something like that. That's a cool card. Not a Hall of Famer, but Bob Walk and Hall of Famer Reggie Jackson. That's cool in an A's uniform. As someone who started watching baseball at the end of Reggie's career, I kind of think when I hear Reggie Jackson, I think of, well, obviously I think of his nickname, Mr. October, and I know his, the 3 home runs and one of those World Series in the late 70s, but I think of Naked Gun and his mission to kill the Queen. It's a funny movie. John Grubb, Bo Diaz, Alan Anderson. I can't tell what he's just thrown there, but Alejandro Pena, Eric Show, Donnie Baseball. So that was on my list. He's not in the Hall of Fame, but still a fun card to collect. His cards actually, not that they're valuable, but his cards have retained some value. Those Yankees fans help keep those values up, I think. Ernest Riles. There's another insert. Fernando Venezuela. Obviously, he kind of was a superstar for at least a few years, known for his wind-up and delivery. Jay Howell. There's Pete Incaviglia. Juan Berenger. It's not Berenger. Juan Berenger. Exactly sure how to pronounce that. Dave Smith. Moose Haas. Roger Mason. Rick Burleson. Leon Durham. And Jim Presley. For me, I don't know, it's the photos just don't, I just love 1987 Topps. I think the photos themselves just don't seem to pop. They don't quite have the same color or feel as the 87 Topps. They look a little, I don't know, the colors look muted or faded slightly. And it just may be me and some bias I have, but I do love the 87 Topps. Texas Rangers. All right, Dennis Lamp. Pedro Guerrero. That card was actually the card shown on the Beckett that we just looked at. I'm not sure if you noticed that or not. Lloyd Mosby. Steve Sachs. Jose Oquendo. Greg Harris. Tom Foley. Phil Niekro. So that is a cool card. Read an interesting stat on Phil Niekro. I may get it wrong. May have to look it up, or if you know the stat, would love for you to comment below. Basically, he won over 100 games. It may have been 120, between 100 and 120 games after he turned age 40. Unbelievable stat. Maybe he had 2,000 strikeouts after age 40. That may not be true, but there was a strikeout number and a wins number that was really just unbelievable. Which just shows the longevity of his career. You know, this doesn't even go back to his rookie year. I'm fairly confident his rookie year was 1964. I know that's when his rookie card is. He may have had a cup of coffee in '63 even. But that's a cool card to get regardless. No value, but Andy McGaffigan, Tilly Gruber, Terry Harper, Jeff Stone, Jim Sundberg, Gary Carter, Hall of Famer. With the Mets, again, coming off that Mets World Series victory. Ray Searage, there's the Barry Larkin rookie. So that is nice to have. I'm kind of trying to start a Hall of Fame rookie collection. And you can get quite a few of them in these junk wax era boxes for cheap, or you can just buy them for $1 a piece or so. Greg Matthews. Tommy John had a long career, obviously most known for the Tommy John surgery. Helped him prolong his career. Garth Eorg, Bill Russell, Mark Eichhorn, Reggie Williams, Tim Conroy, Mitch Williams, Wild Thing, Wayne Krenchicki, Tony Bernazard, Tim Burke, Jerry Roos. Jerry Roos looking quite old in this photo. Bruce Sutter. So that is a Hall of Famer relief pitcher. Shane Raleigh. Jorge Orta. Keith Hernandez. Love a good Keith Hernandez card takes me right to Seinfeld, The Boyfriend episode, Steve Lyons. And Tony Perez. 95% sure he's a Hall of Famer. Can't remember. Didn't know Tony Perez played into the late 80s, to be honest. See what number that is, 209. Randy O'Neal, Rafael Belliard, Cal Ripken Jr. So that is a cool card. His rookie year was back in '82, but he still looks really fresh-faced, like a kid in that photo. Obviously, Fleer, his brother, would have a rather iconic card in 1989. I've opened an '89 Fleer box if you'd like to look at that. And that's back-to-back great 1980s era and into the 90s Hall of Fame players. Cal Ripken and Ryan Sandberg back-to-back. That'd be quite a double play combo. They always played in opposite leagues. Sandberg with the Cubs in the National League, and Ripken with the Orioles. So they never turned to double play in the All-Star game or anything. Fred Lynn, Omar Moreno, Mike Krakow, another classic 80s and 90s player, Hall of Famer Kirby Puckett. That is a cool action shot. I like that. It's a cool card. There's that Ruben Sierra card, the rookie card worth $15 in 1992. Anybody wants to give me a donation of $15, I will mail this, shipping included. I'll be gracious. So if you want that card, let me know. Steve Crawford, Marty Barrett, John Kruk. That's a John Kruk rookie card, so that's actually pretty cool. Ozzie Guillen, future manager for the White Sox there. Bit of hothead, Jamie Quirk and Ed Lynch. And these cards are subject, I can feel it here on the back, these cards are subject to wax staining just like any other cards. You probably can't see it. I don't have a good light glare, but there's definitely the feel of wax stain on the back of that card. And so grateful that at Cardboard Lifer reached out. We love to get, any type of interaction. I make a mistake, please let me know if there's information that you can shed any additional light onto these cards. Feel free to comment. We love that, good or bad. It's great to have interaction. Here's another subset, Superstar Specials, Dave Parker and Ryan Sandberg. I've said on previous videos, if you look at Dave Parker's numbers, he's definitely borderline Hall of Famer. Ken Dixon, Wayne Tollison, Brett Saberhagen, Bob Ojeda, and a checklist card. Cool thing that Fleer did that I know Topps didn't do. I'm not sure how some of the other products determined the order of their cards, if it was random or if there was any type of logic to it. But they arranged their cards by team. I think by the order that they placed the previous year, including playoffs. So you can see St. Louis Cardinals are all in order, Montreal Expos, and so forth. Chris Bosio, Jose Rijo here with the A's. Later move on to the Reds and win a World Series. Walt Terrell, Ron Robinson. Here is a Major League Prospects card. Bob Nelson and Steve Fyerovid. Mike Fischlin, Mark Huisman, Dan Pasqua, Teddy Higuera, Ed Romero, and Ed Correa. So, not a big fan of the look of this 87 Fleer card. If I'm being truthful, it's a little boring to me. If you're a big fan, that's okay. Just kind of nothing wrong with it per se, but compared to 87 Topps and 87 Donruss, I think I prefer the looks of those. But again, these are the scarcest of the three, and therefore retains the most value, what value there is. Roger McDowell. There's another checklist. Glenn Braggs, Mickey Tettleton, Darrell Evans, Eric Davis. Always liked Eric Davis. So here is another Superstar Specials insert. This is a vertical one. It's the first vertical one we've had, and I think is it Tony Samuel? Tim Raines? It's Tony. What's his name? Juan Samuel. I'm thinking about Tony. Thinking about another Tony. Can't remember. Juan Samuel and Tim Raines. Tim Raines, Hall of Famer. Bob Tewksbury, Mark Langston, Dave Winfield, Hall of Famer. Had run-ins with George Steinbrenner. I think George Steinbrenner derogatorily nicknamed him Mr. May, as opposed to Mr. October, because of his, I guess, prowess in the early parts of the season, but not necessarily in the playoffs. Robin Yount. Love Robin Yount cards. Just a cool card. Playing outfield and DH at this point in his career. Don Baylor. I know at some point Don Baylor held the record for most hits by pitch. I'm not sure if he still holds that record. Gary Ward. Sid Bream. Mike Scott. And Mike Davis. You know, now players, and I remember Jeff Bagwell used to get a lot of slack for this. These players now, they have all the gear on them when they bat that not quite the fear of getting hit that there may have been back in the day. I do remember Bagwell. I remember that coming up with Bagwell, at least some of the games that I watched with him. White Sox sticker. Don Carmen, Andres Thomas, Mickey Brantley. We're getting a lot of duplicates. That's 3 in a row. They've gotten this one as well. Scott Bankhead, Kirk McCaskill, Jack Clark. It's a funny. It looks like he's watching something happen intently. Another Major League prospects: Jerry Brown, Mike Stanley, Ed Whitson, Dale Svim, Damasco Garcia, Mike Marshall, and there's yet another Canseco Superstar Special. So I guarantee you someone, I'm assuming what product development is, what at Cardboard Lifer does is help establish the set and what's going to be in it. Somebody said, let's get Canseco on as many cards as possible. Al Newman, Mickey Hatcher, Scott Bales, and Hubie Brooks. So far we've pulled four totally separate Jose Canseco cards. One being the base card and 3 of these subset cards. So, very interesting. We'd still like to get the Bo Jackson card. We'd like to get the McGuire card. The McGuire card, I can see it in my mind's eye. It's a rather distinct card as well. Rick Burleson, Leon Durham, Jim Presley, another Jamie Moyer rookie, Mike Young, Don Robinson, those great Pittsburgh pillbox caps, Julio Cruz, Greg Minton, Neil Heaton. Okay, so that's a duplicate of we've got this Superstar Special, but another Canseco card. Dwight Evans, Canseco lover would love this box. Andre Thornton, and there's still quite a bit of Canseco fans and collectors. Gary Templeton, Greg Walker, Larry McWilliams, Greg Gross, and Lance Parrish. There's a cool documentary on Netflix right now, Jack of All Trades, and there is a little segment where the main guy goes and meets he actually meets Jose Canseco and talks about baseball cards with Canseco, but then he meets, at Canseco's actual introduction, a collector who collects Jose Canseco cards, and gosh, is it a million Jose Canseco? He's got the largest Canseco collection. It's probably not a million, definitely not a million, but it's can't remember how many Canseco cards he had, but quite a bit. Mark Kubica, Wally Joyner. So there's the Wally Joyner rookie card that, again, back in '87, he was very popular. Rick Horton, Dave Magadan and Phil Lombardi, Bruce Bochy, future manager, Gorman Thomas, John Cerruti, Bill Madlock. So here is another Superstar Special All-Star Battery. Gary Carter with the Mets and Roger Clemens, although they would have not played together in the All-Star game, being in different leagues there. But Dennis Martinez, Pedro's older brother there, Mark Salas, Brett Butler, Bryn Smith. Oh, that's cool. This is a cool card. Dwight Evans. Not sure where I even got that. Dwight Gooden and Roger Clemens there. Shaking hands. Two of the best strikeout artists for sure. Dr. K and Super K. Jackie Gutierrez and Ricky Henderson, the all-time stolen base leader, Hall of Famer Ricky Henderson. So, don't have Bo Jackson, don't have Barry Bonds, don't have Mark McGwire yet. Would love to get those three as we make our way through this. Bill Russell, not the basketball player. Mark Eichhorn, Reggie Williams, Tim Conroy, another Wild Thing, Wayne Krenchicki again, Tony Bernazard, Tim Burke, another duplicate, Jerry Roos, another duplicate. There's another Bruce Sutter, Shane Raleigh, Jorge Orta, Keith Hernandez, Steve Lyons, another Tony Perez, Jeff Lottie, and another Alan Trammell. So that was a box of, or a pack of duplicates there. Would love to know, if anybody knows, would love for you to comment how cards were actually sorted. I'm sure at this point they've tried to randomize cards and packs to prevent searching and things of that nature. But if anybody knows, I would love to know how the companies actually sorted these cards into packs back in the day. Steve Garvey, Richard Dotson, Mike Diaz, Charles Hudson, Darnell Coles, Glenn Wilson, Chris Chambliss, Steve Yeager, not sure how you pronounce this last name, Howard Johnson, Dennis Leonard, Bob Boone, Todd Worrell, Major League Prospects, Willie Frazier and Devon White. Devon White would have a pretty good career. Bip Roberts. Oh, there's my favorite name. Brian Clutterbuck. Ernie Witt. And Oral Hershiser. Excuse me. I do miss the smell of the gum that you would get with 87 tops. I'm not sure if this old cardboard just made me sneeze. These don't quite have the same smell as the Topps cards. Always been a Topps fan. Pat Tabler, Andre Dawson. So there's my favorite player of all time. Hall of Famer here with the Expos. And as much as I'm a Cubs fan and really became an Andre Dawson fan watching the Cubs as a kid, you know, he definitely produced the majority of his numbers as a Montreal Expo. Had the great '87 MVP season with the Cubs, but went into the Hall of Fame as an Expo, I believe. Bill Caudill, Ted Simmons, Luis Aguayo, Bud Black. And going back to that underdog, that is a cool stage shot, you know? I mean, he's kind of pointing the bat, if you will, extending the bat at the camera, almost like he's making contact with the ball or part of his at-bat routine. It's kind of cool. Rick Aguilera, Joel McKeon, Sal Butera, Bob Forsch, Kirk Gibson, who would later on become a World Series hero, Buddy Bell, Jeff Reed, Ken Howell, Lamar Hoyt, Dennis Rasmussen, and Rob Deere. Dave Von Owen, Bobby Witt, Frank Williams, Billy Hatcher, popping the collar. Got the GQ look going. Doug Blair. Doug Blair looking rather old there too. Can't say that I necessarily remember Doug Blair, but Bob Melvin, Bobby Grich, Keith Moreland. You know, a lot of these guys, though, they just looked old, period. I don't know if it was the facial hair of this era or what, but, you know, I like Rick Dempsey there. He looks like a 40-year-old man to me. It's the mustache that does it. But Joe Cowley, Scott Garrett again, glasses and the mustache. Artificially aging him, Keith Atherton as well. Let's see what we have here. Superstar Special, Rigetti, and Oss, I guess. Speaking of mustaches, that's quite a distinct one. I like that. He's kind of looks like he's trying to pull a Raleigh Fingers look off there. Don Oss. Not sure if I'm pronouncing his name correct or not. But Jeff Sellers and Corey Snyder. And I'm trying to go with that. I haven't really noticed this or paid much attention to it, but you can see they've got what I'd call an artificial 3D effect where they're pulling the players up above the background to give the card some depth. And this just kind of looks odd, honestly. It looks like it's out of place, but you can see they've left the ball up there into the background. So would love to know why you collect cards. If you would like to comment or add us on Twitter. I love opening these older Junk Wax era cards just for the nostalgia. Tim Raines. And it really does kind of take me back to my childhood with a lot of these players. And Buck Martinez, Jim Acker, Tom Hume, George Brett. So that's I'm glad to get that card. George Brett, obviously a Hall of Famer. Rather distinguished career. Flirted with 400 one year. Would have been the first player since Ted Williams to do that. I think he ended up with 390, something like that. But, 400 Still an unbelievable season. Lenny Dykstra, Gene Nelson, Carl Willis, Tito Landrum, Willie Hernandez, John Denny, Billy Bean. Billy Bean obviously would go on to be most known for being the general manager of the Oakland A's, and actually minority owner, part owner of the A's at this point. Obviously, he was the subject of Moneyball, the book, which would be made into a movie. It's a great book. I think it's something, basically the sabermetrics that would be almost universally embraced later. Alex Trevino, Jerry Royster, Mike Easler, Tim Leary, and another all-star insert of George Bell, Toronto Blue Jays. Billy Bean. It really is a gret book. I think it's Paul DePodesta. I can't remember. I think it's Paul DePodesta, which was the guy who kind of really got him into the sabermetrics aspect. Obviously, the A's were a small market team and needed to find an edge any way they could. And Dave Lopes, Mookie Wilson, Charlie Kerfeld, Mike Witt, Andy Van Slyke, Rob Wilfong, Rick Leach, Ken Landreau, Jim Clancy, Rick Honeycutt, Ken Daly, Toby Hurrah, and Mike Fitzgerald. Not much in that pack. Tom Bernansky, Darryl Porter, Bruce Hurst, Joe Sambito, Craig Lefferts, Floyd Bannister, Mike Kingery, Rob Dernier, Chris Welsh, Mike Schmidt. That is a cool card to have. Mike Schmidt, obviously part of the 500 home run club. Glenn Hubbard, Tony Walker, Ron Darling, Aurelio Lopez, Donnie Moore, Danny Cox, and Chuck Finley. I believe that's rookie card for Chuck Finley. Have a decent career, Chuck Finley. Lansford, Jim Slayton, Junior Ortiz. There's Don Oss again. Frank Tatino, Pete Ladd. Well, that's he embraced the 80s. We'll say it like that. Brian Oakers, Juan Bonilla, Doyle Alexander, Candy Maldonado, Bert Blyleven, Hall of Fame pitcher, Don Slott, Calvin Schiraldi, Bob Stanley, Dave Dravecki. I believe Dave Dravecki would go on to get cancer in his arm, and made a comeback, and I think broke his arm pitching. He later on had to have his arm amputated. I do remember that. Harold Baines, Hall of Famer, recent Hall of Fame inductee, Rudy Law. Kind of glad Harold Baines got into the Hall of Fame. I wouldn't call him a superstar, but when you go back and you look at his career numbers, he compiled quite the career. Some players just, they're never, like a Jose Canseco, who's not even a Hall of Famer, but just had unbelievable seasons and became, widely popular. And you've got players like Harold Baines, or I'd throw Dave Parker in there, that are just year after year after year very consistent and put up really strong numbers. Brian Fisher, Ben Ogilvy, Dave Henderson, Gino Petralli, Rick Rhoden, Kevin Bass, Donnie Hill, Dave Bergman, Rick Ruschel, Mike Boddicker, Gary Matthews, Carl Best, Rich Yett, Storm Davis, Billy Sample, and Chili Davis. So a Storm Davis and a Chili Davis. Two very unique names in the same pack. That was a good pack. That was a pack with a lot of brand new cards that had not had any duplicates. So maybe I can pull some of these other cards I'm looking for here. Tim Stoddard, Charlie Liebrandt, Ray Knight, future manager there, Rick Cerrone, Dwayne Murphy, Lou Whitaker, many believe should be a Hall of Famer, Dave Parker, again, many believe he should be a Hall of Famer, another top prospects, Jimmy Jones, Randy Asador, Rod Scurry, Harold Reynolds, probably best known for his commentary, Claudell Washington, Jim Gantner, Rich Gedman, Tom Pasioric, R.J. Reynolds. That's a heck of a name, R.J. Reynolds, because I know that's the name of the cigarette company, R.J. Reynolds. That's funny. Denny Walling. Alright, so it looks like we've got about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We've got 14 packs left. So we're over halfway. Maybe 2/3 of the way through here, approximately. Alright. Billy Swift, Tim Teufel, Danny Jackson, Rupert Jones, Tom Herr, Major League Prospects, Greg Swindle, Dave Clark, Dave LaPointe, Bill Wegman, Willie Upshaw, Franklin Stubbs. So there's Superstar Specials, Mike Scott and Mike Krukow, Luis Rivera, Mark Portugal, Tom Candiotti, Jeff Reardon, Big Backs, say that again, Big Bats at the first sack, Glenn Davis and Eddie Murray. Eddie Murray, Hall of Famer, Rich Bordy. So I think this wraps up the 1987 products. I've opened Topps, Donruss, and Fleer now, and so we'll be moving on to 88. Probably we'll do tops first, I'm not sure. Count them, 4 home runs in 1 game. Bob Horner. Wow, that is an impressive feat. Bob Horner of the Atlanta Braves became the 11th player in history to hit 4 home runs in 1 game in 1986. So that's cool. Did not know Bob Horner was part of that club, but that is a cool trivia question. Wallace Johnson, Steve Lombardozzi. There is that another Julio Franco card. So now we've got $30 worth of Julio Franco cards. So please send your checks to at DC Ball Cards, and I will get these in the mail right to you. Bob McClure. Sluggers from the left side, Don Mattingly and Darryl Strawberry. And 2 New York players, neither are Hall of Famers, but that is a very cool card. Tom O'Malley, Ron Kittle, Willie Wilson, Jesse Orosco, John Henry Johnson. Sounds political. That's a political name. He's like running for Senate. John Henry Johnson for Senate. Bill Mooneyham, Bill Campbell, Pete Rose. That is cool. Here he is as a player manager. You can see the designation first base and manager. I believe in the 87 Topps set he had a card. He had a card as a first baseman or player and as a manager. But that is cool. John Stefero, Kevin Seitzer. And that is look at how off center that card is. That is a beauty of an ugly. That's one of the most off center cards I've seen. As far as this set, I know that's common for older cards, but going back to Pete Rose. Pete Rose actually will be coming to our neck of the woods as part of a card show autograph signing. And I think $60, $70 you can get him to sign a card that says, I think, I'm sorry I bet on baseball, which obviously him capitalizing on that is one of the reasons he'll probably never be in the Hall of Fame, at least while he's living. It's a shame because he's one of the best players of all time, but that's one of the rules that they say is written in every clubhouse that you just can't do. Going back to the Black Sox scandal, White Sox scandal, the World Series. Mike Diaz, Charles Hudson, Darnell Coles. Obviously that got Joe Jackson and several other 8 in total White Sox players banned for life from Major League Baseball, basically throwing that World Series. They did just announce, which is cool. I would love to go. There's no telling how much the tickets will be on the secondhand market. They are going to be playing a baseball game at the Field of Dreams location where the movie was filmed. I love that movie. I love the book, which is just called Shoeless Joe, that movie was based off of. The reason I bring that up is obviously we're talking about the White Sox scandal, Black Sox scandal, but they won't be playing on the actual field. They are going to be building a field adjacent to the actual field, but basically, right in the cornfield. And I think they're going to have a path where you can walk from field to field. I would love to go to that, but it probably won't happen. Jim Rice, Hall of Famer there. Another Hall of Famer, Tony Gwynn. So back-to-back Hall of Famers, and I kind of skipped over But a great, you know, one of the best nicknames of this era, Oil Can Void. Can't go wrong with an Oil Can Void card. Neil Allen. Bo, I'm glad I got that card. Was hoping I would get that card. Just need the Barry Bonds now, but that is a cool card. I love Bo Jackson. Obviously, injuries, that major hip injury basically shortened his career, but talk about a superstar. And he was marketed as a superstar. You know, I'm well aware of that. You know, Nike marketed him and made us kids fall in love with him, but, you know, that's okay. Ken Griffey, Sr., obviously. Dickie Thon, Danny Heap, Craig Reynolds, Brian Downing, Vince Coleman, Jack Howell, and Jimmy Key. So I do hope I can get the Barry Bonds rookie card. We've still got a handful of packs here to do it. So there is Phil Niekro's younger brother, Joe Niekro. He obviously, I most know Joe Niekro for getting caught with an emery board. Just flat out caught red-handed, had it in his back pocket, pulled it out. It came flying out of the back pocket. He was hoping the umps would just overlook it or not see it, but sure enough, if you haven't watched the video, it's great. Joe Niekro, baseball cheater, but you know, the saying, if you ain't cheating, you ain't trying. I think the Niekro brothers would probably agree with that statement. Scott Fletcher, Johnny Ray, come on, I need the Barry Bonds card. It looks like that. Bob Knepper, Alfredo Griffin, Dan Petrie, wrong Pittsburgh Pirate Barry, give me Barry Bonds, Jim Traver, Hall of Famer Lee Smith, was once the all-time saves leader, later surpassed, I know he's been surpassed by Trevor Hoffman and then Mariano Rivera, Matt Young, Otis Nixon, Juan Beniquez, Rick Mahler, Chris Brown, and Kent Herbeck. So you can see by the prices in that Beckett that I showed earlier, this would have been, you know, quite an expensive set to acquire or collect back in the late 80s and early 90s. I mean, you know, over $25 cards, Will Clark card, $15 Ruben Sierra card, Barry Bonds rookie, Canseco. So these are some, back in the day, this was an expensive set. Daryl Porter, Bruce Hurst, Joe Sambito, Craig Lefferts, Floyd Bannister, Mike Kingery, Bob Bernier, Chris Welch, another Mike Schmidt card. Happy to get that. I remember those Franklin, I don't know if you can see that or not, those Franklin batting gloves. Those were very popular for baseball playing kids back in the day. Had a pair of those. Glenn Hubbard, Tony Walker, Ron Darling, Aurelio Lopez, and Donnie Moore. So we got about 8 packs left now. 3/4 of the way through. Still looking for that Barry Bonds rookie card. Maybe We'll get it here. Kevin Seitzer and John Stefero, Major League Prospects. Bob Shirley. Ray Quinones. Brian Fisher. Ben Ogilvy. Dave Henderson. Gino Petralli. Rick Roden. Kevin Bass. Donnie Hill. Dave Bergman. Rick Ruschel. Mike Boddicker. Gary Matthews, Carl Best, Rich Iet, and Storm Davis. And pack got inserted a little oddly. Didn't fully seal on the wax side. Jim Wolford, Roy Lee Jackson, Mel Hall, Tim Wallach, AL West Stoppers, Witt and Charlie Huff. Is it Mike Witt? I think it's Mike Witt. I cannot remember. Let's just see. Charlie Huff, Mike Witt. Yep, Stopper. I guess the Stopper. Ed Hearn. There's the Doug Drabeck rookie that was worth $250 there with the Yankees. Would later get traded to the Pirates. There's that Kevin Mitchell rookie that was worth $5 back in 1992. The New York Mets. Bill Schroeder. Dusty Baker. Future manager. Giants, Cubs, Dave Collins, John Franco, outfielders with punch, Harold Baines and Jesse Barfield. Jesse Barfield's a good follow on Twitter. Harold Baines, Hall of Famer, Bobby Meacham, and Lee Guterman, or Guetterman, I don't know how to say it. Rose card there on the back. A little back staining. Ernie Witt. Oral Hershiser. Bob Horner, 4 home runs. Wallace Johnson. Steve Lombardozzi. There's that Julio Franco card. So that's $45 worth of Julio Franco cards. I'll cut you guys a deal. I'll give you 3 Julio Francos for $30. So buy 2, get 1 free. Just let me know. Bob McClure, Don Mattingly, and Darryl Strawberry. Sluggers from the left side again. Tom O'Malley. That one's quite a bit of off-center, top to bottom. Don Kittle, Willie Wilson, Jesse Orozco. There's our state senator again. Bill Mooneyham, Bill Campbell, and then again Pete Rose. You know, there's still just something cool about Pete Rose. I guess it's his, thumbing his nose, if you will, at the establishment, at the Hall of Fame. I mean, some people are going to hate that, but then there's an element of coolness to that he's just fully embraced, Ron Davis, Scott McGregor, Barry Bonds. Oh, thank goodness. I was really, really hoping to get this card. 4 packs to go, and we nailed it. So that is cool. I know Barry Bonds is a very polarizing player. Some people hate him. I would say not very, very many people love him, but, he's still the all-time home run king. as far as just numbers. In some people's mind, probably mine including, Hank Aaron still holds that distinction, but because I'm a huge Hank Aaron fan. The things he went through, read his autobiography, love Hank Aaron. Steve Carlton, another Hall of Famer, great left-handed pitcher, and there's the Will Clark $25 card. So I'll tell you what, we'll throw in Will Clark, we'll do 3 Julio Franco cards, we'll do them all for $10. That's an incredible discount, guys. Just let me know. Do them all for $10. Frank Viola. The Magic Met. So this is, again, coming off that 1986 World Series. We've got Gary Carter. I think that's probably Sid Fernandez, maybe. Dwight Gooden, Keith Hernandez, and Darryl Strawberry. So that is, that's a cool card. Tim Lawler. Andy Allenson. Goose Gossage, Hall of Famer. Dave Schmidt. Bob Kipper. Mike Maddox. Greg's older brother, Chet Lemon. Gary Aretas. There's the Bob Horner base card. Mr. 4 Home Runs. And David Leeper. You know, I'm not going to even try to pronounce his name, but the Cincinnati rookie, he just hit 3 home runs in one game, and I think he's hit 7 home runs in his first 10 games, which ties a record with a couple of rather unnotable players, but still a heck of a way to start out your career. Another Barry Larkin Hall of Fame rookie card. That is cool. Greg Matthews, John Grubb, Bo Diaz, Alan Anderson, Alejandro Pena, Eric Show, another Donnie Baseball, Ernest Riles. Oh, another All-Star. We haven't gotten one of these in a while. Steve Sachs. So that's a little underwhelming All-Star card, but All-Star card nonetheless. Pete Incaviglia, Juan Behringer, Dave Smith, Moose Haas, Roger Mason, and Don Robinson. Some wax stains on the back. So we got 3 packs to go. I'm feeling pretty good. I've got the Bo Jackson, got the Barry Bonds. We've got a couple of Barry Larkins. Still quite a few players that we don't have the base card. Roger Clemens, McGuire. There's still quite a few cards that we could get here in these last few packs that would be exciting. Ted Power, George Frazier, Dave Anderson, Marvell Wynn, Billy Randolph, Paul Molitor. So that's a Hall of Fame card that we don't have yet. That's a good one. There's a Don Mattingly All-Star Team. So that is a cool card to get. Donnie Baseball had a pretty sweet swing. Not quite as sweet as Griffey's, but Ontiveros, Jose Guzman, Mike Lacoste, Glenn Davis, Kurt Young, Harry Spillman, and lo and behold, a second Barry Bonds rookie, so 2 in the last 5 packs. So that is cool. Happy to get that. Terry Forster, Steve Trout, John Moses. Got a Hall of Famer here on the back. Tom Niedenfuhr, George Bell, Bob Welch, Ray Soff, Charlie Huff, Knuckler, Ray Tibbs, Ken Trome, Vance Law, Joe Johnson, Ed Olwin, Steve Bedrosian, Frank White, Wally Backman, Bill Dawley, Cal Daniels, Kurt Ford, and there's Hall of Famer, brand new card there, Jack Morris. Jack Morris, probably best known for the 1991 World Series. He outdueled John Smoltz, Game 7. 10-inning shutout, I believe. It's clutch, no doubt. Danny Cox, Chuck Finley, Dennis Lamp, Pedro Guerrero. This is our last pack, by the way. Lloyd Mosby, Steve Sachs, Jose Oquendo, Greg Harris, Tom Foley, another Phil Necro card, Andy McGaffigan, Kelly Gruber, Terry Harper, Jeff Stone, Jim Sundberg, another Hall of Fame Gary Carter card, and Ray Searage. So that wraps up our video here. I'm going to quickly go through these cards again. Let's set a couple of these other ones to the side. I'll put these here and we'll just kind of quickly go through these. Got a Will Clark, Julio Franco, Kevin Mitchell, Julio Franco, Wally Joyner, John Kruk. Now we get into some of these other cards. Gary Carter, Necro, Jack Morris, Barry Bonds, Don Mattingly, Paul Molitor, Steve Sachs, All-Star, Don Mattingly, Barry Larkin, rookie, Gossage, Strawberry, Carlton, Bonds, Pete Rose, Strawberry, Haynes, Schmidt, Lee Smith, Bo Jackson, rookie, Tony Gwynn, Jim Rice, Pete Rose, Strawberry, Eddie Murray, Harold Baines, Fly11, Schmidt, George Bell, All-Star, Billy Bean, just kind of a cool card, George Brett, Tim Raines, The Hawk, Trammell, Tony Perez, Sutter, Ricky Henderson, Gooden, Clemens, Gary Carter, Roger Clemens, Jose Canseco, Yount, Winfield, Tim Raines, Ryan Sandberg, Kirby Puckett, Ryan Sandberg, Cal Ripken, Tony Perez, Sutter, Larkin again, Carter, Necro, Fernando, Mattingly, Reggie, Jose Canseco, Kirby, Trammell, Jose, and Jose. So, pretty cool. Happy with that box. I did not get McGuire or Clemens base cards, I think. There may have been a few others that I was looking forward to, but all in all, can't complain. 2 Barry Bonds, a Bo Jackson, Canseco, a couple Barry Larkin rookies. Very good box. I will be moving on to the 1988 cards, so please stay tuned for those. Follow us on at DC Ball Cards. We have some playlists there as well. I have a playlist with Dustin's more modern product and my junk wax era openings. And we really appreciate you viewing. Would love to hear you comment or reach out with some tidbits of information on this set or future sets, any requests and so forth. So until next time, thanks for watching. Quick addendum to the end of this video. I know I mentioned Mark McGuire several times, and I knew there was a Mark McGuire 87 Fleer. And the reason I knew is because I actually have that card, and I don't know how I acquired it or along the way, but I do somehow have this card and realized it is actually part of the update set, the Fleer update U76 there. So if you noticed that in the video, obviously that is my bad. I knew on my list, I had marked my list of cards, and Mark McGwire was not on that list, but as I was doing the video, I remembered this card in my head, so I was just thinking I would love to get another one. I know that McGwire is not included in that box. He was actually part of the update set. So just wanted to take a moment to let you know that, and until next time, thanks for watching.